Discover the best in local business news with a subscription to the IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. For a limited time, try us out for just $1 a week for 8 weeks. Claim this limited time offer now at ibj.com/trial offer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Monday, October 27th, 2025. I'm Gary Dick. After more than 2 decades of talk, an expanded Bloomington Convention Center is now under construction. Mayor Kerry Thomson tells me the $71 million project will have significant impact.
Well, it means a tremendous amount for Bloomington. Of course, we're the number 2 choice for conventions in the state. People want to come here, but for a long time we've been telling people they can't because our convention center is just too small to host what they want to do. So this does a world of good for Bloomington, attracting conventions and meetings to come from not only throughout the state, but from outside of our state as well.
Toyota Material Handling North America has announced a strategic investment in advanced charging technologies, a forklift battery and charging company headquartered in California. Toyota says through the investment, the California company will continue to serve the forklift manufacturer's distribution network while expanding its own reach. The executive director of the Indiana State Fair Commission will retire next year after nearly 4 decades with the organization, more than half of it leading the commission. Cindy Hoy will step down March 31. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Northeast Indiana is on the move, and the next big conversation is happening in Fort Wayne. Join business and community leaders at Innovate Northeast Indiana, a powerful afternoon of ideas, innovation, and insight. We're talking talent, technology, and transformation, and what's next for the region. Join us at the Grand Wayne Center Tuesday, November 18th for Innovate Northeast Indiana, part of the Innovate Indiana series presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate. Fishers-based tech firm Arrive AI is suing a former consultant whom it accuses of sabotaging the company's efforts to sign a deal with the leading logistics company.
The defendants in the lawsuit are Myron Wright of Louisville and his company, Wright Flyer Consulting Group. Arrive has developed an autonomous delivery system that allows drones to deliver parcels to and from temperature-controlled smart mailboxes. In its complaint, the company says it is on the brink of losing what could be a multi-billion-dollar deal with an unnamed logistics company because of Wright's actions. In October 2022, the lawsuit says, Arrive signed an agreement with Wright and his firm to help build a relationship with a prospective logistics company that Arrive wanted to land as a customer. Arrive alleges that it sent product samples to Project Astro's prospective customer for testing and feedback and was on the brink of finalizing an agreement. Arrive compensated Wright for his work via both cash and company shares. But after Arrive terminated Wright's consulting agreement in January, the lawsuit alleges, Wright, quote, began interfering with Arrive's business, customer relationships, and shareholder relationships, end quote. The lawsuit accuses Wright of, among other things, hiring the unnamed logistics company's departing employees and directing them not to work with Arrive, and of secretly usurping Arrive's business opportunities, strategies, and valuable property, and using those assets to aid Arrive's competitors. Arrive is seeking an injunction that would require Wright to immediately stop using Arrive's trade secrets and to return or destroy any materials that contain those trade secrets. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The Venture Club of Indiana has selected Almera Mahmood as its new executive director. She previously held leadership positions at Indianapolis-based consulting firm Prolific, including as Chief Strategy Officer and Chief Financial Officer. She's also the founder and CEO of California-based Stealth Startup. Pennsylvania-based Doral Renewables has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Stark County Park Board to commit $60,000 to support the county's parks and recreational sites. Doral is the developer of the massive $1.5 billion Mammoth Solar Project in Stark and Pulaski counties. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand. Indiana's biggest names, their most personal stories. The Business and Beyond podcast brings you one-on-one conversations with the state's top leaders in business, sports, politics, and culture. If you want to know what makes Indiana tick, this is your show. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts or at ibjpodcasts.com.
Your commute just got smarter. Turn drive time into growth time. The IBJ Media Podcast Network gives you front row access to leaders shaping Indiana's economy, culture, and future. No filler, just smart, relevant local storytelling you won't get anywhere else. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.